You won't believe what I found when I analyzed the last 5 years of CMA Inter Financial Accounting question papers. Every single exam, from June 2019 all the way to December 2024, had a hidden pattern sitting right there, in plain sight. A pattern so consistent that if you spot it once, you'll never look at this paper the same way again. What they don't tell you is that examiners aren't just testing your accounting, they're testing how you think when you're under pressure. And if you miss that, it doesn't matter how many chapters you've memorized, you're done before the paper even begins. Here's the shocking part. I found that over 60% of students who fail paper 6 don't fail because of a lack of knowledge. They fail because of sequencing errors, panic, and time mismanagement. And when you look closer, the same mistakes repeat year after year. So, let me ask you this, are you ready for the truth? Because missing this one insight could literally decide whether you move ahead in your CMA journey or stay stuck at the same level for another attempt. Now, let me start with a story. A few months ago, I met Amelia, a hard-working CMA Inter student from Manchester. She had spent 3 straight months preparing for financial accounting. She'd solved every question in her study material, she'd watched countless YouTube videos, and she even made her own colorful notes. But when her result came, she got 42. That's not a bad score, but it's not a pass either. She told me she couldn't understand what went wrong because she knew everything. But when I looked at her answer sheet, I saw it immediately. She didn't apply the standards. She wrote the standard she knew as 10 by heart, but when the question came with a twist, change in accounting policy versus estimate, she gave the wrong treatment. She lost 8 marks in a single go. Not because she didn't know, but because she didn't train her exam instinct. And that's exactly what this video is about. Stay with me for the next few minutes because I'm going to walk you through a strategy that turns your preparation from average to examiner ready. And yes, I'll drop 3 viral microhooks that you can literally reuse for your own Instagram or TikTok reels to help you remember the hacks instantly. Let's start with a question. What if this one paper decides your entire CMA timeline? Because for most students, that's exactly what happens. Paper 6, Financial Accounting, is the paper that filters who moves ahead and who has to repeat. It's not just another subject, it's the foundation of your financial understanding. It shapes how you'll think when you get to corporate accounting, cost audit, or strategic financial management. But the sad reality? Most students treat it like a side subject. They think it's all about debit and credit. They spend hours perfecting ledger formats but zero time understanding examiner psychology. But this paper isn't about entries, it's about awareness. It's a pattern recognition test wearing the mask of accounting. Let me show you how this plays out. Imagine 2 students, Liam, from New York, and Ethan, from London. Both start their prep at the same time. Both cover the entire syllabus once. But Liam scores 74, and Ethan fails with 37. Why? Because Liam studies with the examiner's brain. He looks for recurring verbs in the question paper: prepare, explain, compute, adjust. He knows what those command words mean in CMA language. Ethan, on the other hand, studies with a student's brain. He reads, highlights, and revises, but never analyses. That's the real difference between a topper and a repeater. Now let's zoom out and look at the big picture. Financial accounting under ICMAI isn't just a collection of chapters, it's 6 zones you need to dominate. Think of them as puzzle pieces. You've got accounting fundamentals, accounting for special transactions, preparation of financial statements, partnership accounting, lease and branch accounts, and finally, accounting standards. Each one of these carries different weight. And if you don't play to the marking pattern, you're giving away easy marks. Accounting fundamentals carries about 15%. Accounting for special transactions gives you 10%. Preparation of financial statements, that's your heavy zone at 20%. Partnership accounts? Another 20%. Lease, branch, and departmental accounts sit around 15%. And finally, accounting standards, the goldmine, a full 20%. And here's the irony. The most neglected section, accounting standards, is also the most predictable one. Every single attempt, as based questions appear worth 20 marks, and yet, over half the students treat them like theory side notes. They say, oh, I'll study that later. And that's the mistake. You cannot later your way through this paper. I've seen it happen again and again. Students nail partnership questions, they manage final accounts decently, but when it pops up, they freeze. And the examiner knows this. That's why standards-based questions are usually scenario-based. They'll give you a situation, company changed its inventory method, or event after the reporting date occurred. They'll never directly ask, explain as for. They'll test if you can apply as for. So, here's your first big insight: treat accounting standards as applied math with words, not theory. It's where you show reasoning, not memory. And that brings me to our first viral real hook moment. Imagine text flashing on screen: the secret to nailing accounting standards in 60 seconds. You've never seen anything like this. Here's how it goes. If you want to memorize 9 accounting standards in 9 minutes, link each one to a visual cue. S2? Imagine a warehouse stacked with gold bars. That's inventory valuation. S4? Picture a courtroom, contingencies and events after reporting date. S10? A construction site, fixed assets and property. You do this mental linking and your recall doubles. The human brain stores images faster than sentences. That's why toppers can remember the right as instantly when they see a tricky question. Now let's move deeper: preparation of financial statements and incomplete records. This is your 20% zone, and it's where students either win big or lose big. These questions look long, but they're actually formulaic. The problem? Most students never practice full-length questions under timed conditions. They'll solve half, check the answer, feel good, and move on. But in the exam, that time pressure hits like a freight train. Let me tell you about Ethan, one of my online batch students from Birmingham. He used to be brilliant with short questions, depreciation, trial balance adjustments, cash flow classification. But the moment a full financial statement came up, he froze. During his first mock test, he left the question halfway because he ran out of time. When I analyzed his pattern, I noticed he wasn't slow because he didn't know the content. He was slow because he didn't have a process. So, we built one. Step 1, outline. Step 2, adjustments. Step 3, closing stock. Step 4, final totals. Every question, same rhythm. By the next test, he finished the paper with 20 minutes left and jumped from 46 to 71 marks. The difference wasn't effort, it was method. That's what I call exam rhythm, a repeatable structure that keeps your mind calm even when your hand is racing. And this is exactly what you need for topics like incomplete records and final accounts. Here's a quick hack you can turn into your second viral micro reel. Flash text. Try this to finish final accounts in half the time. Then say this. Write your headings before reading the adjustments. That one move alone saves you 5 minutes. Why? Because your brain stops searching for structure. You've already created it. Then, use one margin for rough adjustments and one for final answers, like a 2-lane highway. That mental segregation stops confusion and doubles your writing speed. By this point, you've probably realized that success in CMA Inter Financial Accounting isn't about how much you know, it's about how smartly you play the exam. Most YouTube videos or classes teach you the what, journal entries, formats, working notes. But what I'm showing you here is the how. How to think like an examiner, how to build exam rhythm, and how to see patterns others ignore. That's your competitive edge, because when you step into the exam hall, it's not the smartest student who wins. It's the one who's best prepared for the real environment. And that's exactly what we'll dive into next: the real exam case strategy and time management blueprint that toppers never publicly share.